of the WA Rally Championship would be the Lewana stages held in the Bailing Up Grimwade region of WA's southwest. This round would see crews reverting back to a non-pace noted event with 8 stages tackled twice, totalling 122 kilometres of competitive distance. The 11 AM first car start would mean a mainly daylight event, and with some rain in the area earlier in the week, it meant smooth, fast road conditions and minimal dust. 30 entries would make up the compact field, this round also counting towards the WA Clubman Cup Series. There would be some interesting additions to the entry list for this round. Ex-Ford driver Darren Windus would campaign the Western Caravan Toyota Corolla Sportivo. Series sponsor and Western Caravans director Wes Ridden opting to put Windus behind the wheel of his newly acquired machine for the rest of the championship. Matthew Knox would make a welcome return to the series, running his well-used Evo 3. This would be his first event back after a 4-year layoff. Gavin Morgan made a return on round 1 of the season, but missed the Quit Forest Rally with business commitments. He and co-driver Chris Parrish keen to get back to championship form. After rolling his car on the Quit round last month and running out of time to repair it, Chris Anderson would enter his brother's STI and get off to a great start. Although not taking the first 2 stages, he would push hard on special stage 3 and 4 to go into the halfway service with a handy lead. Makara, running car 1 on the road, could only manage second place, already over a minute off the lead time. He would also have to contend with a very hard charging Gould combination, who have well and truly got onto the front pace and would set some impressive times to be third outright, just 21 seconds off second place. The brother-sister pairing of the Wiles, not big blind rally fans, would keep up their chase and put in steady times to stay in touch at the midway break. Other notable runs would come from Gavin Morgan. After a careful start, he would add 2 top 5 stage times to his name for the event so far. Matthew Knox happy with his steady start, a 6th, 5th and 4th fastest stage times pleasing. However, just being back out on the tracks, the main boost for this team. There would be a fair share of dramas to go with the good runs. After setting quickest times on the opening 2 stages, the Western Caravan's Corolla would grind to a halt with the drive shaft and then diff failure. Brent Dunlop would show signs of his speed, however would be another to fall victim to mechanical issues, his event over after 2 stages. Nick Box would push hard in his Evo, setting top 6 times, only to have a puncture spoil what could have been a good result. A great 2-wheel drive battle had also developed. The front drive charade of Travis White would get a good start and lead that class after 4 stages, albeit by just 1 second. The thundering V out of Kyle Douglas would do a superb job to stay with White, taking 1 of the stages in the process. The big Commodore using its legs down the straights, but having to yield in the tight stuff. Jeff Leotator would also be in the mix, his flamboyant style entertaining the spectators and keeping him within striking distance. By rally's end, White would hold off the challenge from Douglas to take the class by just under a minute, the Commodore man in second, with the number 10 Escort and defending 2-wheel drive state champions having an off 2 stages from the end and no points. The clubman portion of the event would see only 5 starters run, however they would also push hard over their 4 stages. The Escort of Neil and Amanda King taking the points for the win at the conclusion of their event. Out front, the pace would continue to be hot, and so would some of the dramas. Knox and McCulloch would have to park their Mitsubishi after a front left puncture eventually damaged the oil cooler, and that would be that. After swapping from a Datsun 1600 to a WRX in season 2010, Gary Whittle would be most pleased. Setting times well within the top 10, he would finish with a well-deserved 6th outright. Gavin Morgan and others sure to be well pleased with his clean and tidy run, building on his speed all event and taking 5th outright for round 3. He would have a great tussle with Gould and be just 22 seconds adrift after 8 stages. For the Gould combination, this would be a very satisfying event. They showed good speed over the ground from the drop of the flag. Over the course of the event, times as high as second fastest prove that this pairing are certainly ones to watch in 2010. A good fast drive with no mistakes resulted in a fine 4th outright. Grabbing valuable championship points for the blind format events they like very little would be a good outcome for the Wild pairing. Having to struggle with route charts, this combination would have the state title on their minds and points accumulation their goal. 3rd outright, a favourable result, a clean run and a straight car ready to battle with in round 4. For the defending champion John McCara, he would have to settle for 2nd place. Known for his talent on blind rallies, he would push hard all day but not have an answer for the front-running Subaru. That said, valuable points and certainly still very much in striking distance of the top spot. Good speed across the stages and 1st or 2nd quickest on all but one of the tests would be the good workload put in by Chris Anderson and co-driver Ben Searcy. Their borrowed WRX not missing a beat, this pair would open up a handy lead and not relinquish it all event. This now puts Anderson atop of the 2010 championship standings, and with 2 events to run, more of this style of driving will see him very hard to topple from the number 1 spot.